Hello, and welcome to episode 5 of Probably Philosophy. Today, let's answer the question, how toxic is positivity? Let me just give you a brief overview of where this episode originated from. It's from a statement that Nandana gave. She said that so many people never talk about toxic positivity, and that just put me through in like a loop of thoughts of what exactly positivity is, what exactly toxic positivity is, and how something as innocent and as simple as positivity can get really toxic for people. And not only is that getting toxic for people harming themselves, but how it can harm the whole society, you know. All right, so let's take it one step at a time and go slow, take things slow. Right, so being positive all the times, irrespective of how things are, while it might just look as an optimistic way of life, it can be more than just that, depending on where it is coming from and whom it is coming from. One more thing, to who it is going to also. I mean, it's not only the sender but also the receiver who is a part of this conversation. Okay, in other words, toxic positivity takes positive thinking to, an overgeneralized extreme. And anything in extreme is never good over long periods of time. But I digress. This attitude doesn't just stress the importance of optimism, it minimizes or sometimes denies any trace of human emotions which are not positive or not happy, right? So this is done at times to, bring down the value of emotions and feelings that are not positive. For example, let's say that someone is feeling sad, or someone is, going through a phase of not being happy because of how things are turning up for them, right? This originated somewhere there, where along the lines of giving positive and happy emotions more value than the other emotions that humans go through, right? And this was done in order to help people to cope up with things as they happen. But as usual, humans came into the play and started ruining the original essence. I mean, this has been you know typical of human beings to do so, right? Okay, to state an example, right? The phrase "happiness is a choice" might sound harmless at first when you just listen to it, but the more you look into it, the deeper you get. You realize that it is actually really problematic. For a happy person, let's say, this doesn't affect a lot, you know. But when a person is sad or just not happy because of it can be any reason, it can be like any circumstances they are going through, or it can be something because of things that has happened over regular course of time, of regular course of life, or the reasoning might be completely different altogether. These kind of statements, I'm saying these while I've just given one example, because there are multiple sentences, multiple phrases along the line of happiness is a choice, right? It just creates the mirage that the person who is not happy chose to be not happy, which to say least isn't true amongst all the things that could have been, right? I mean, come on, you cannot control the course of your own life, right? I mean, even you might be a writer, you might think you're controlling the story you're writing, but in reality you're not. The story flows as it needs to be, right? And there is one more thing that toxic positivity leads to, which is gatekeeping of emotions that one feels, and not letting them out, basically not letting out the emotions as you feel and when you feel them. Now this in itself is a call for issues and problems, because humans, we have a limit to what we can do and what we can hold in. And I want you guys to ignore the thunderstorms happening if you can hear it. I am just recording this right now because it's about 3:20 in the afternoon and I have to release this episode by 6:30. So yeah, this is going to be a hell of a journey because I got to edit this and upload it. So yeah, I'm sorry if you guys hear any discrepancies, and I'm also sorry for digressing once again. Let's get back to toxic positivity, talking about toxic positivity. Right, so I left out the fact that toxic positivity leads to gatekeeping of emotions and not letting things out as and when you feel them, or maybe even after a slight bit of time when you're comfortable and when you have actually accepted the emotions that you've felt. Right now, what happens is that humans have a set of limits till which they can handle things, and when these limits are crossed, it can cause a lot of issues, lots of troubles, and there is no one general way of explaining or telling how these emotions, the gatekeeping of emotions, will turn out. It is different for different people. I mean, we are all human, right? Things are pretty unique for us. It's as unique as the human beings themselves, right? I mean, there is one more thing. There is one thing that I have to give to toxic positivity. That is from where it originated. Most of the times, these phrases, they are just an attempt to help someone when you don't exactly know how to help them. These come out in the form of giving sympathy to someone who is going through a bad time, but how it impacts is different from the motive. Sometimes your motives might be good and the outcomes might be bad. Other times your motives might be bad but the outcomes can be good. That's a paradox of life. That's weird, but it is what it is, right? Now, coming back, and many a times, these words, these phrases, these feelings, these emotions of things will flow is alright. But when you say that happiness is a choice or positivity is a choice, or when you force optimism, not optimism, when you force over optimism on someone, right, that can become really problematic really soon. And what happens oftentimes is this isn't like just happening for one person to another person. It is like a daisy chain of toxic positivity, from happening from the first person to the second person, and then from the second person to the third person. So basically what I'm trying to say is that this is a sandwich which is filled with poison and which also tastes sweet. So basically a sweet poison sandwich. I think you can get one of those in any of the fast food chains right now. Okay, right. Getting back to what we were talking about. And there's probably a reason too why very few people talk about how toxic positivity can get. And not also that also includes one more thing, right? Not accepting the things as they have happened, changing facts to what has happened. And this is one of the primary causes, primary reasons, a base of having a life which is filled with issues, because you lie over a lie, and then you lie to hide that lie, or you lie to make yourself feel good, right? And that will lead one nowhere, probably in more mud, more issues. Yeah, so there are times when it can be like really hard. You might be going through a devastating period, right? And it's all right to cry. It's all right to feel the pain. It's all right to feel numb. It's all right to be alone. It's all right to be lonely. It's all right to be sad. It's all right to be depressed. It's all right to feel all the emotions one can ever feel. What is not all right is stopping oneself from feeling it. And yeah, that's one of the things. And okay, and I have to say one more thing, that if you have ever said something along those lines, or you have been a toxic positive person in the past, accidentally, not unknowingly, it's all right for that to happen. I mean, those are just mistakes. Of what I'd say is, maybe if you are still in contact with that person, or if you can still talk to that particular person, just tell them that you did so and so, and you realize that it was wrong, and try and stop yourself from doing this again. It's only human that one can learn from things that they have done and improvise on that, so that we can all try and make this world a slightly better place for those who are alive when they are alive. And one way is to just listen to what people have to say, because there is a lot that people have to say. There's a lot people are holding within themselves, and just be there when they might need you, and help in any form if possible. Just don't deny or degrade people of what they feel, right? And I have oversimplified these things a lot, because I did not want to get deeper into this, because this is again a rabbit hole of things. You get into one thing, that will lead to another, and that leading to another, right? So all I'm asking you is to just let people be through the emotions they are going through. Just live through it. I mean, that's life. ये जीवन है. On that note, I think I'll just take this one statement for today. If you want your statement or your question to be featured, don't forget to follow me on Instagram and Twitter at DarkLordSpeaks. Link in the description. You can go and follow me from there. And now that you're already there in the description, just click on that subscribe button. Yeah. Give it a cheeky click and ring to the notification bell. That's also great. I mean, so that you can follow me or you can also follow me on your favorite podcasting platform, so that you can be the first to listen whenever I upload new episode, which is oftentimes Saturdays at 6:30 p.m. every other week. And how you can get your questions featured, how you can get your statements featured is, I will be posting Instagram stories, so have your notifications on for both Instagram and Twitter, where I'll be asking questions and statements from you guys. Whatever is in your mind, whatever you think you want my perspective on, whatever you think you would like an answer for from my side, just go ahead and ask for it. I'll catch you next time. Until then, peace.